What's your name, man?
Clint Maxey.
Bob.
Right on, dude. When I was growing up,
YoVC, what's up? Bob here. Welcome to Vinyl Finds on the Bob Bradley YouTube channel. This is number 111. That's right, folks, number 111. I found some records this week, and we're going to get into them right now. Most of these are rock records from the 1990s. Coming in hot, 1996's self-titled Sublime. It's a fantastic record. Comes with a bit of a backstory. In 1992, one of my best friends, Shane, discovered the band Sublime. I don't know how he did it. Maybe MTV's 120 Minutes, it would be a guess. He liked to stay up late. But he bought a record called 40 Ounces to Freedom. We listened to that record a lot. Then he got another record called Robin the Hood. And then Bradley, the singer, guitarist, and primary songwriter for the band, dies of a heroin overdose. Shortly thereafter, the self-titled Sublime record was released. I mean, it's a smasher of a record. It's got 3 primary hits on it. What I Got, Santeria, Wrong Way. It's got other cool tunes like Garden Grove, April 26, 1992. It's a fantastic record. Long record. But most people were unaware of the fact that Bradley was actually dead. So this is when they got all of their success, and he was there to see absolutely none of it. The band, heavily influenced by acts like Bad Brains, Steel Pulse, UB40, If I Was Going to Guess. A lot of contemporary bands around them, like NoFX, No Doubt. Fantastic record. Some people don't like it. I love it. I had been looking for a nice pressing of it for quite some time. I found out that there was a Chris Bellman cut on a 233 1/3 record set, if you will. This is that set. Custom center labels with kind of a Sublime artwork. This was an iconic record at the time. I remember it fondly, and I am very glad to have found it. This is a nice pressing of the record. Sounds phenomenal. Speaking of phenomenal records, highly influential artists, and stuff that I listen to way too much. Jeff Buckley's Grace. I've been looking for a good pressing of this record for quite some time. I found out that Kevin Gray had a pressing in 2010. On the back of this record, it says 1994, 2010. I scan the barcode with the Discogs app. It says it's the 2010. I get it home, open it, guess what? It's the 2015 pressing of the record. Is it from the same plates as the Kevin Gray? I don't know. It doesn't say so in the dead wax. So it's a mystery. That said, it sounds pretty good. It's nice and clear. It's cut hot. The guitar sounds good. The vocals, very nice. Everything is how it should be. It's a decent pressing of the record. Buckley, trademark falsetto. He's influenced by people like Robert Plant, Nina Simone. His father, Tim Buckley, also a great vocalist. Chris Cornell loved Jeff Buckley. Robert Plant loved Jeff Buckley. I love Jeff Buckley. And I will probably continue to try to get a Kevin Gray cut version of this record. But until then, this will be okay. This might, I don't know. Is this the Kevin Gray? I don't know. It doesn't, he's not in the dead wax. That said, it does have the Sony Legacy hype sticker on it. It is on this orange Columbia center label. If you've never seen any of the Buckley MTV performances, check those out. They're amazing. As a matter of fact, just check out all the Buckley stuff. I have an OG of My Sweetheart the Drunk. If you don't know, Jeff Buckley drowned in the Mississippi River under very mysterious circumstances. There's a lot of things going on with the date. I believe it was his birthday. It was a major loss at the time. When this record came out, it absolutely blew my mind. Lover, I Should Have Come Over alone is worth the price of admission. This is a great, great record. Definitely get it. Soundgarden, Bad Motorfinger. It's a fantastic record. I remember when this came out, a lot of people perceive this as Soundgarden's first record. It is not. There were several records before this. But this is when Soundgarden hit their prime. Two of the tracks, Rusty Cage and Outshined, were featured on the Road Rash video game, which, if you don't know, is like a motorcycle game where you can also fight people on the road. Great game. But it turned a lot of people on to Soundgarden. And I prefer Super Unknown to this record, but this record has a lot of killer tracks on it. For one, Jesus Christ Pose. This thing is psychedelic, it's heavy, it's dark, and it's a long record. This particular pressing is from the EU, and it is mastered from the original tapes. It's a bit more expensive than the one with the lenticular cover for a much more simplistic presentation. That said, it's very good. It sounds great. And it's how the record was originally pressed. So I would highly suggest this. Is about $35. It's on this A&M label. Got this kind of stuff here that you see on these EU pressings. Bad Motorfinger by Soundgarden. Awesome, heavy record. Next, here's a killer record from the 90s. Pearl Jam's second release, Versus. Oh, look at this cover. Insane. I love this thing. It's beautiful. Now, when this came out, a lot of people didn't think it was as good as 10. I was one of those people. You know, 10 was just chock full of all these fantastic tunes. And then they dropped this, and Daughter is the primary single. And I wasn't that crazy about the song Daughter. And I got the CD, and I listened to it a few times. I thought, you know, it's pretty good. It wasn't until later that I realized how radical the record is. I mean, it's fucking radical. I mean, it's really good. Songs like Animal, Go. I mean, it's dark. I mean, it's killer. And there's plenty of hits on here. I don't know what people were thinking. Songs like Rearview Mirror, Indifference. It's a great record. And I think the label didn't push it as hard as they could have because Pearl Jam was doing a lot of crazy stuff at the time. They started a fight with Ticketmaster. They recorded Yellow Ledbetter, put it on the Jeremy single, and then never put it on a record. I'm sure the record label was really pleased about that. It's one of their greatest tunes. It appears on no studio album. So, yeah, I don't think this got pushed like it could have because Pearl Jam was doing all this punk rock shit at the time that I'm sure the record label was not too pleased about. That said, this is a fantastic record. It's the newest pressing. It's on just a regular Sony Legacy label. It's okay. It's not cut real hot. You know, Pearl Jam's one of these bands that like to revisit their old material and do what they always wanted to do to them. Sometimes to good results, sometimes not. This one's growing on me. I've spun it quite a few times already, and I like it. It's good. I'm glad to have it on vinyl. Nice presentation. Flat. Plays good. You know. Last but not least, none of these things could have most likely been possible without this gentleman. Neil Young, Massey Hall, 1971. It's a live recording of Neil. I've watched a lot of the performances on YouTube from this tour. I never realized how well they recorded all this stuff. It's just Neil, a Martin D45, and some harmonica, and it sounds phenomenal. This is a true audiophile pressing of the record, and it is incredibly nice. If you see this Neil Young Archives release, you should definitely get it. It sells for way more on Discogs, especially when it's out of print at times. So you should, if you see this in the store, just pick it up. I'm certainly glad I did. It's in the high 30s. So, you know, it's not cheap. That said, please like, subscribe, tell a friend, leave some comments down below. And until we meet again, folks, that's right. Bob out.